For 2 years, he kept painting this beautiful picture of our future together. The house, the wedding, the life, and I kept waiting for it to arrive while slowly losing every person I loved. The day I finally left was the day I found out how much of myself had been waiting for me to come back. My best friend Claudia pulled me aside at her birthday party and said, "I'm scared for you." Not I'm worried, not I'm concerned. Scared. She used that word on purpose. I could tell by the way she held my arm and by the way she waited after she said it to make sure I had actually received it. I had been at that party for 2 hours and spent most of it standing in corners on my phone with Adrian because he had called 3 times and I had to answer. I had watched Claudia across the room watching me with an expression I kept deflecting because I didn't want to know what it meant. She said, "I don't recognize you anymore, and I'm scared." I want to tell you that I heard her immediately. That her words cracked something open right there at the birthday party, and I had a revelation and went home and ended it that night. That is not what happened. What happened was I started to cry, and then I said, "It's complicated." And Claudia hugged me, and I could feel her holding on a little too hard, and a little too long the way you hold onto someone when you're not sure when you'll next get to hold them. But the word stayed with me. Scared. I drove home that night with that word sitting in the passenger seat, and I could not get comfortable with it, could not explain it away the way I had been explaining things away for most of 2 years. Scared was the crack in the wall, and once a crack exists, it is only a matter of time. His name was Adrian, and the honest truth is that I was never more attracted to someone in my life. I know that sounds shallow. I am not a shallow person. But attraction is its own form of information, and I want to be honest about the full picture. He was magnetic in a way that felt physical, like gravity. He was also funny and quick, and when he told you something he leaned in and lowered his voice slightly, like he was telling you specifically, like it was a secret between the two of you and the rest of the room didn't exist. I had always been good with people. I mean genuinely good. I had a big friend group, long-standing friendships that went back to childhood and university, the kind of social life that kept me full and grounded. I was the person who organized the group trips and remembered everyone's birthdays and showed up reliably at the things that mattered. That was not performance. That was who I was. Adrian said, in the first week we were together, "I have never met anyone who loves people the way you do." He said it like it was the most beautiful thing he had ever seen. It took me 2 years to understand that he had been looking at it as a threat. The future painting started almost immediately, and I want to describe it carefully because I think it's one of those patterns that sounds obviously manipulative from the outside but feels, when you're inside it, like love. Adrian talked about our future constantly from practically the beginning,